Hey everyone, I thought it would be a good idea to send you a video of how to do this online reporting. We've had a bunch of phone calls, emails on how to do this. And I thought it'd be nice to show you a really cool scene since it was so unbelievably hot this weekend. Alright, here we go. So let's start with a game report. We'll do one of mine I had from Sunday. We'll go through a couple things on the game report too. Before you even start your game, you want to remember to have the manager, the coaches sign at the bottom, verifying their roster. And remember that you can use, in case you have roster changes, up in the upper left is going to be a printed date and time. So if you have changes on the roster, one roster may be earlier than the other one was, take a look at that and that'll give you the latest roster you have. So this is the match report from this game. It was a 2-0 game by the visiting team. At the end of the game, you want to make sure you have the referee's name, the two assistant referees' name, and they should either sign or initial. Please write legibly. It isn't very fair to the coaches and managers who go back and enter their information if they can't read what you wrote. Be reasonable on that. So you put the score in. And the home and away manager or coach then initials at the end of the game. And we'll talk about the columns. None of you are going to be using the ODP column that I know of. You will be using the goal column. My suggestion is you don't use hash marks. In other words, if the score is, one person scored 2 goals, you're not going to put in 2 hash marks. Put in the number 2, so we don't get confused on that. The card section is going to be used for cautions or send-offs, and use whatever abbreviation works for you. E or C or S, caution, send-off, and then the reason code. And you need to use the reason codes as they are in the laws of the game. If you don't know the 7+7, you better find it. It's on the website. So make sure you're using the right reason codes, because when the managers or even you go into the Presidio site, you need to have the right reasons. So that pretty much covers the match report, has the time of the game, and this number up here we're going to use here in a second, 42274. That's our match number for this game. So we get back home, or we're entering in our tablet on the field or our smartphone. We want to go to the PresidioSoccer.com website. In the upper right hand corner, there's a Presidio Gaming link. We're going to click there. And believe it or not, the biggest problem we have with this whole system is people logging in. The forget your password thing doesn't work worth a hoot, so don't even try it. If you can't log in, call the tech support number. We've sent it out like 5 times already. So we have Tom Litch and my password. By the way, if you have login issues, don't send me an email. Don't send Leanne an email. We can't help you. Okay, don't worry about your screen looking different than mine. I'm an administrator in a league, so you won't see all this stuff below. What you care about is this link right here. This one right here. Presidio 2011 Presidio Gaming League Scoring. Click on that link. And that will bring you up to a game search function. And we said our match report number was 42274. So we're going to put in 42274. One thing to remember, this search function defaults to the date that you're currently in. So in this case, it's defaulting 829 to 829. But this game happened yesterday, so we won't find this game unless we change our search function to 828. So we change our search function to 828, have that game number, and voila, there's our game. You should be able to click anywhere on this game to get into the detail for it. Clicking on that game is going to pop up a window. If you have pop-up blockers on, it isn't going to pop the window up. That may be a problem you might be having. So let's go through from top to bottom on this. It has the details on the game. It has the score. I've already entered this game, by the way, so it's all in here. So we have score 0 to 2. If we're entering details on a player or a coach, we're going to do it with this function here. Under goals, cautions, ejections, we're going to select whichever player, coach, administrator that we're going to be working with. So in this case, let's say that Helen Lee had a caution. We're going to pick her in the drop-down menu. Then we go to item type and we pick caution. And in the reason default, it's an alphabetical list, so the reason defaults to dissent. You want to make sure you select the correct reason. So in this case, we're going to give Helen a caution for unsporting behavior. We add her, and that's done. So that's all you need to do to enter a caution. It's not complicated. Let's say that we want to enter an ejection. So we enter an ejection. Again, it's going to default. It's an alphabetic column. And it's really important you get the right reasons in here. So we're not going to say this is a second caution, which is the default. We're going to say it's serious foul play. And we add Helen with a straight red ejection for serious foul play. If you have a player with a straight red, ejections or serious foul play, violent conduct, spitting, whatever the straight red might be, not only will you write the comments in this section here, so this is where you enter ejection information or any comments on the game that you want to make as the referee. So you enter your information in here, and you're going to click Save Stats and Comment before you leave. And we're going to remove all this because I don't want to send off Helen. You are also, for a straight red, going to be entering or submitting a USSF supplemental report. Attached to this email is a link to the USSF supplemental report. It's a fillable PDF. It's really easy to use. What you need to remember is where it says SSN, because we used to enter our Social Security numbers. Now you're going to enter your USSF referee ID number. Leanne and I are really happy to help with report writing. Actually, it's the fewer words the better for report writing. So we're happy to help you with that. So let me go back and remove this information. Okay, so we have our score 0 to 2. We have our 2 goals that happen by these 2 players. We want to make sure we put in who we are. So we want to have whoever the center referee was and who the 2 assistant referees were. And any changes we make, we want to go to Save Stats and Comment. Pretty much all the time you're going to use Save Stats and Comment. So we do that, and I'll show you an interesting little problem this program has. When I click Save Stats and Comment, it entered the score as 0 to 0. Do not worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. If you close the window, you'll see, and we go back in, the score is still going to be 0 to 2. So don't worry about that at all. We hope this helps you. Oh, one other cool little button. Instead of, well, I didn't tell you this yet. When you're looking up your referees, if you just type in, as an example, if I want to find myself, instead of having to scroll through this whole window, I can just type in LI, and it'll bring me down to the Litchfield area, to LI area. It's alphabetical. So pick on that and then click on Add. If I'm looking up, who was the other one? Omar. If I want to look up Omar Moreau, just type MURO and it'll bring you right down to Omar. And then click on Add for that. There's also a cool little button at the bottom that says Add yourself as a center referee to this game, so you don't have to go search for yourself in the list, which is really no big deal. So we hope that helps you a little bit. Remember on the send-offs that you need the USSF supplemental only for straight reds. If you have a second caution, just put it in the add comments section, and that'll be enough for the circuit directors to understand what happened. So we hope this helps. I just talked to Bob Turner, president of Presidio. He said we had an absolutely great weekend. No problems that he's aware of. So you all did a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. And it's going to be 10 degrees cooler by Wednesday, so we're all happy about that. All right, have fun. Good luck out there. Bye.